Thanks for joining us. I'm Walt Gray. We have a lot of breaking news story this morning, and we want to keep you updated on what's happening. The Kincade Fire still burning in Sonoma County. Hundreds of thousands of people remain without power. Keep in mind, PG&E turned off power because of imminent fire danger. In Sacramento, a hostage situation that locked down an Oak Park neighborhood started yesterday is still ongoing. Giving you a look at Mello Court near Christian Brothers High School. Police say this will not affect classes at CB for the day. We do know a suspect has taken a 13-year-old hostage. There are other hostages inside that home. Neighbors have been evacuated. This has been, as we mentioned, going on since yesterday afternoon. It started with a police chase, and the situation is still developing. We will stay on it. All right, let's get to a new wildfire that did spark this morning. This is Simi Valley in Southern California. It's called the Easy Fire. It's threatening the Reagan Library. Some areas around the fire are now under a mandatory evacuation, including the Reagan Presidential Library. At least 150 acres are burned, and the Ventura fire captain says the winds are a major concern. In Sonoma County, firefighters are working hard to keep the Kincade Fire under control, but strong winds are making it difficult. Firefighters could get some relief later today when things die down. As of the latest update, 76,000 acres burned, an area bigger than Sacramento, nearly 190 buildings destroyed, which is 86 homes. So far, containment is 30%, and we'll continue to follow this story as it develops. Carlos Herrera, just north of Calistoga on Highway 128, where a building was on fire. Carlos.
Yeah, it's really sad to see, Walt. Take a look here. This home here along Highway 128 now burned to the ground. Most of it was caught in flames earlier this morning. You can still see some embers flying around and definitely that huge plume of smoke billowing into the air. But I also want to show you to the right of this home, there are several cars that were also a total loss, destroyed by the flames earlier this morning. This all happened around 4 today. But we really want to show you some dramatic video we caught the moment this home collapsed to the ground because of those flames. Really sad and devastating to see. Firefighters tried all they could to save this home, but that wasn't possible. Unfortunately, this is yet another home destroyed and added to that list of the devastating Kincade Fire. We also seen a lot of spot fires along Highway 128 here north of Calistoga, mostly trees and dry brush that was caught on fire, not coming too close to homes or structures, but this one, again, a total loss. Now, today, CAL FIRE will continue focusing on structure protection, making sure that those winds don't push the fire north in Sonoma County. But another big concern today for CAL FIRE and for crews out on the fire line is the dry brush in this area.
We're at the time of year where we haven't seen any moisture in our fuel beds for an extended period of time. The fuels are critically dry. They are receptive to new fire as well as fire spread.
And meteorologist Rob Kralmark has been talking about it all morning here on Morning Blend. He's been telling us about the winds and how they won't be as strong today. Of course, that's the big message that CAL FIRE wants to put out there, that they're really hopeful that the wind won't continue spreading this fire, making it grow. There you can see firefighters in the background making sure that no more embers fly around from this particular home. Again, Walter, we're along Highway 128 north of Calistoga.
Okay, thank you, Carlos. You see, Rob, the smoke going straight up. So obviously the wind is not pushing it, and I guess that's a good sign.
Yeah, that is, and that's the theme. You know, it's not like it's gone totally calm, and I want to show you something that's really important. Why we still have the red flag warning. It has everything to do with humidity. But you know what? The threat was there. So anything that starts is going to grow quickly. We saw something break out overnight. This is a PG&E camera looking across the city of Redding, and then that's where a photographer was for a vegetation fire. It was 10-15 acres, middle of the night. This is about 1:30 in the morning, KRCR, but they were able to contain it. And that's the thing, is that we have to be honest about this. It's been a tough go as far as the power outages and the risk and just the anxiety, but they have been able to get a handle on a lot of these fires early. Now, we showed you some images earlier of the fire near the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, and that's an ongoing fight, still moving down toward the ocean. Next stop is 23, and then perhaps beyond, because these winds in the LA area are going to be gusting upwards of 80 miles an hour. We have already seen through the morning hours, gusts up to 70 miles an hour. So there's two things happening at the same time. Number one, the wind in general for Southern California is going to be strong enough to break stuff. There's going to be tree damage. There's going to be trees down. There's going to be localized power outages. They do have planned safety shutoffs for power in this part of California as well. But there's going to be additional ones outside of those planned ones because there's just going to be a lot of trees on the lines. That's just the way that it goes with the strong winds there. And we know what's going to happen because we just went through this on Sunday. That's when we had high winds for all of Northern California, but this is where we're going. Still a red flag, but probably in your neighborhood, the wind's not really that strong, so why are we still in
the process? Do you agree, if confirmed, to appear and to testify before this committee when requested by the chairman and ranking member? Do you agree to provide documents and electronic communication in a timely manner?
in San Diego, Orange County, you name it. If something starts, it's going to go clear to the ocean if there's nothing in the way. It is a critical time period for Southern California. Now, since midnight, we did see some stronger wind gusts. I saw closer to 40 near the Kincade Fire. We saw some Bay Area gusts upwards of 40 over the Oakland Hills and Mount Diablo. And then we're looking at 47, even 60 plus near the Jarbo Gap. That, you may have heard of this place. That's roughly where the Camp Fire started. So there was some cause for concern through the overnight hours. But looking ahead, let's go ahead and
All right. Looks like they've shut down Olson Road now. I don't see anybody coming through at the 23. And they're shutting down, but they got to be shutting this down. I think they're on the best shot right now. If I report again, I might talk about that. I would stay on this. It's our best shot. Looking out the window, it's the best flame that we have. Okay. Amen. Here we go again. You know, good enough to be here, I guess. What do you mean? Oh, yeah, we got quite a bit of fuel. We're not burning much either at 6,000 feet into the wind, so we got hour 40, something around.
I don't see any fire weather coming back for a while. Walt?
Okay, thank you very much, Rob. And now to those PG&E power outages we've been talking so much about for the fourth time this month. The utility did cut power as a way to prevent its equipment from starting more wildfires. We're going to give you a look now at the map. PG&E's website, purple dots, show all the intentional outages. Overnight, PG&E announced they no longer needed to turn power off in several Bay Area counties because the wind wasn't too bad. Still, more than 400,000 PG&E customers are without electricity right now, many of whom lost power over the weekend, and they still haven't gotten power back.
We want the shutoffs to end as badly as anybody. But when a choice comes down to safety or something else, we're going to choose safety.
Still, many people, though, not happy, as you can imagine. If you did lose power in the first big shutoff earlier this month, PG&E is promising to reimburse you with some form of credit. That's why we've been asking you, is a $100 reimbursement enough for PG&E outage customers? Vote on our app or at abc10.com/vote. 82% of you right now saying no, not enough. Governor Newsom has been pressuring the company to do this for weeks, demanding that they do give people their money back. Last night, PG&E CEO said he thinks reimbursement is a good idea, given how it handled communication during the initial shutoff.
Some of the things we did in that didn't go very well, our website, all those issues, and we thought this was probably a pretty good idea to show a little recognition to our customers that some of those things didn't go right. So what we told the governor and his folks today is that we agree with his suggestion. As to how that gets done, the mechanics, I don't know the answer to that. We'll be getting around to that after this event.
Just so we're clear, PG&E is not promising to reimburse you for every shutoff, just the first one this month, the first of 4. All right, let's get to meteorologist Carly Gomez in the backyard. Cold morning temperatures, making it even harder for people who have no power.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's been the big concern. When are these people going to get their power back? It is very cold early in the morning. We're going to continue to see temperatures dropping into tomorrow morning as well. And I know we talked to Cal Fire. They were talking about needing to make sure your wood fireplace, if you have one, is kept up. Otherwise, if you're burning through that, that could be dangerous as well. So not very many options for people having to deal with this cold temperature early in the morning hours. Now, we are looking at temperatures right around the upper 30s to low 40s out there. Now, this is going to be through Thursday morning, some of the coldest temperatures, and even after that, we'll still see temperatures in the upper 30s to low 40s. The mountains anywhere from 10 degrees to 30 degrees. We'll see the valley 30 to 45 degrees, the foothills 13 to 31 degrees. So we're really talking about these very cold temperatures. There may be a few thermal hot spots in the foothills. Otherwise, we're really seeing these very cold temperatures. So you're talking about Placerville at 46 versus Pollock Pines at 40. We're talking about Jackson a little lower in elevation at 39. So really fluctuating between the foothills here, 37 in Arnold, and we'll even see those cold temperatures remaining in the Sierra overnight. So the high today, 46 degrees in Tahoe, but the overnight low, 8 degrees early this morning, moving into Thursday morning, 10 degrees. So we're not really seeing too much relief when it comes to warmer temperatures. It is fall. We are moving from fall toward winter. So yeah, we'll continue to see some cold temperatures as we progress into the winter months. But even in the valley, Vallejo, 38 degrees, 37 in Napa, 35 Fairfield, 36 in Gilroy. It's getting cold even the Bay Area, looking at those mid to low 40s. 35 degrees in Manteca overnight, 34 Lodi. We're looking at close to freezing temperatures overnight in the valley. It's going to continue to be cold moving toward the weekend as well. So even though we're looking at one of the coldest days, Thursday morning is still going to be very cold. And residents we spoke to, one man in particular in Nevada City, says it's going to be difficult for him to try to stay warm overnight.
It's hard. It's hard on everybody. It's unexpected. But it's going out through all of California. We're dressed warm, that's all we can do. We purchased several small heaters, ones that are safe, and we kind of maintain in one room. We try to heat that room the best we can. It gets freezing cold in here, so it's been rough. It's been real rough here. We'll see.
And for those with generators to keep the power on, that's helpful to have those indoor heaters. Of course, you can only use so much power with those generators before you start using it all up. But we're also talking about cold temperatures overnight leading to possible freezing of your pipes. You want to contain that and keep that well insulated. You want to bring in the plants that are maybe outdoors that could start to feel some of that frost and freeze. And also, of course, protect your pets. Bring them indoors if you need to, or even in the garage if they're outdoor dogs. A lot of things you can do to make sure you're prepared for some of these colder temperatures. And of course, in the valley, if you do have power, you're going to want to start your car early in the morning if you're heading out the door, and also keep the kids very warm. Walt.
I wonder how much longer those nice flowers are going to last out there for you, Carly. All right, thank you. We want to show you something that happened this morning during live TV. Our Carlos Herrera was reporting live from the Kincade Fire. Check this out.
Continues to burn here. Firefighters still here, keeping a close eye on this one. Take a look. This is the home that caught fire about 2.5 hours ago. You can see those pieces falling right off of the front entrance here. The rest of the home here, of course, now burned to the ground. You can see those embers still flying around. That's a big concern for firefighters here this morning as the wind continues to blow. Oh, whoa, there you go. You can see it there.
All right, that was not planned. All right, and check this out. We're going to show you some extra video here. This is from San Francisco. Shows the Kincade Fire burning 85 miles away. This is 10 o'clock last night. The winds were so strong, the fire did flare up, and they were able to pick that up on that camera 85 miles north of the Golden Gate Bridge. All right, let's check back on that fire burning in Simi Valley, which is called the Easy Fire. There it is. There's the situation there, Rob. What are the weather conditions for the Easy Fire?
Well, they're looking at wind gusts 40 miles an hour, up in the mountains up to 70 miles an hour. That is the Wood Ranch Reservoir. So what we've been observing this morning is a lot of helicopters picking up water from that location. That's the Wood Ranch Golf Club there, and then they've been going directly over to the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library. Now, Ronald Reagan Presidential Library, obviously a well-known spot. It hosted a debate a few years ago. You may remember that when they were all in front of the airplane. So they have this huge building there that houses that airplane. So that's some of the vegetation. You know, the good thing about it is that it's isolated. So they have, you know, security. It is protected on a day-to-day basis just because of the historical things inside of it. However, it's surrounded by a lot of dry brush and things that can burn easily. So it's also at the top of a hill. And at some point, KABC, which is our affiliate bringing us these live images, they're going to go over toward that because there is a direct firefight. They are literally parking engines in the parking lot of the Presidential Library with hoses, and that's where the firefight is, right next to that property.
That beautiful home right there. That's fire line. It looks, well, that is pretty dramatic stuff. You see, obviously, to the left of that nice home, looks like, I don't know if any fire has gone there, but look at that. That is, that's pretty amazing stuff here. Again, Simi Valley. How far is this from the other fire, Rob, which is obviously what we've been covering down more south?
The other fire, there was one in Santa Clarita. There's this one. There's a fire in Riverside County, which is actually burning homes at the moment. So the stuff that we saw, Walt, not too long ago on Sunday, where it was extremely windy and fire was breaking out anywhere and everywhere, very difficult to stop. That's the exact scenario in Southern California right now. You know, this shot here is Ventura County, but this kind of thing could happen anywhere over the next 2 days for Southern California. I want to mention one more thing before we end it here. There is a report of another new fire in Sonoma County on the other side of 101, and that's worth watching. CAL FIRE is aware of it. The only thing I've seen so far of it is a satellite image shot detecting a hot spot, but that's something that we should pay attention to, even though our fire weather conditions are getting better, not worse, like they are in Southern California.
Okay, thank you, Rob. All right, let's talk about that hostage situation in Sacramento, that lockdown in Oak Park neighborhood. It started yesterday afternoon. It is still going on. This is Mellow Court, right near Christian Brothers High School. It is not affecting the start of classes for the day. The suspect did take a 13-year-old hostage. We just got an update just now. Authorities were able to remove that 13-year-old from the hostage situation. Don't know anything more about other people in the house with the suspect or the status of the suspect, but we do know a 13-year-old hostage is now out and we believe to be safe. Neighbors have been evacuated. Again, this started yesterday afternoon, started with a police chase. The situation is still developing. We, of course, will keep you updated. Stay with us for updates on air and online, abc10.com. Further updates throughout the course of the day.